Yeah, this is Point Black. Coming in hard and off the card, coming with the flu, straight from the barrio, and coming with the heat from the damn street. This is PBNN Point Black National News, the late and the great edition, and the ghetto edition as well, because this is what we must do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is what we must do. You know? Come with the facts to crack back. Excuse me, cracks the fact, the facts to crack backs and a little bit to the line and slips. You know what I'm saying? In all ways, this is where we go with ours. And there is nobody going to shake our ground, including Joyce Reed comedy ass. You know what I'm saying? And many other of these people trying to convince us about a historic vow based on our people eating the fact of the matter of what I would call a a con artist game that they have been playing on the black community for many, many years. You see, for many, many years. You know, whenever it's convenient or whenever they want to keep the black votes going their way, they send her who? The Black Caucus dummies. Now, the Black Caucus dummies, along with many celebrities, black actors, black celebrities, and many other uh, groups of civil rights leaders and so on and so on, that seems to have any kind of say in the black community, seems to always be the one to convince us in which direction that we must go. An activist's job is not to do that. It's not to do that. You see? And this is what they've been doing, calling themselves the Black Caucus Party, activists, and all kinds of stupid shit. And then you got Al Sharpton up there talking about you ain't no activist. You are something or the other activist or whatever the hell he was talking about, making jokes. But an activist is not supposed to lead his people or the people in which he's activating whatever their quarry is that he's helping to activate something to get a response, a righteous response that brings tranquility. You know what I'm saying? Should not be leading his people to any party at all, especially coming from the black community, because the establishment of the black community should be that in which we get together and able to deal with each other on a common level. Now, systematically speaking, many scientific shit has been done to our community, mentally, physically, biologically, which is still physical in a sense, you know what I'm saying, and many other gurus of shit. Not just drugs and guns and gangs. That's a part of it as well. You know what I'm saying? Leading up to the desensitizing of people's mind towards killing their neighbor or someone at all. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate of you being a gangster. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one should not be either. You shouldn't have your leading up to being a top gangster should not have to lead to a consistent of murder, murder, murder. So we know that is not sounding right on the leadership or any type of leadership of any of this. And it shows a systematic vibe of systematic schemes and biological moves and different things that they have put into our community, even using, probably even satanic worship and shit. You know what I'm saying? Many biomedical statues in the southern states within, in front of the state capitals, state buildings. You know what I'm saying? Doing even that. You know what I'm saying? And even when we look at many other systematical moves, cyclical vibes in which they are running, we see the same thing. We see the same thing. And this has been part of the problem based on the black community holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you are not producing any leadership in the hierarchy of this country to where we can get it. See, the whole thing is they don't want us to have any power or rule. We know that. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you don't see too many, black men running for office per se. in itself and a strong campaign, because this is something they probably told them not to do. So when they get to a certain realm, you know, they come with foolishness. You know what I mean? And we don't need that type of Luciferian bullshit garbage we've seen back in with Hillary Clinton and the rest of them sick suckers, you know what I'm saying, up there running for office and looking like fucking Joe Blue, Joe Snow, or Joe Blue, Joe Joe. You know what I'm saying? And all kinds of characters coming out of the woodwork showing the actual influence of the infiltration of the hierarchy and who all is involved in which our government has seen these tyrants in itself. Second thing is, while Joyce Reed and many people like her is up there convincing us to be on the side of some historical vow, she knew full well that the historical vow was not the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party in itself, or the Democrats in itself, the demon Democrat, calling themselves Democrats, you know what I'm saying, have been a tyrant on the back of black people all the way across the economical scale and even in the slavish economical scale. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for many other races of people as well. Their own kind did that to them as well too. You know what I'm saying? But most of the black people here in the United States know full well of the Democratic Party and the Ku Klux Klan and many of these extremist groups and groups that have come down on black people and have been still doing bullshit and made even in the community that is acceptable once released from the bondage of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Did not meet, you know what I'm saying, their own kind waiting there to beat you up and tell you what you can and cannot do. See, this is the type of mind frame that many have had. Like the guy said not too long ago, I think I'm going to show his clip in about a minute. He said, what did he say? Well, I'll let you see it for yourself. I think he said something about, I'll let you see it for yourself because it's better off explained by others, not always by you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we still see the same tyrannical bullshit that rolls on in our government, and then you want us to follow behind tyrants. You want us to follow behind crooked motherfuckers and thinking that you have the minds of the people so fucking fooled off that they'll follow any fucking thing you say. We must stop this. This goes for even in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop this following. You know what I'm saying? Following is not based on organizing and centralizing. When you organize and centralize, you're not coming together for one person to lead you down a road, and then some things are probably looked upon and done in its rightful way, but it wouldn't be if the system in itself was in its rightful place. But they go out there, they march and they read and whatever, and then sooner or later they start sliming and slipping because that's what their job is to do, is to lead you to this, to that, get some wins here, get some moves there over the years and shit like that. But at the same time, the affiliation in which the connection in which they're doing this, no, it comes from the people in which they're affiliated with and connected to. So therefore, when these things are systematically robbed, you know what I'm saying, by design, you know what I'm saying, you see these people come out and they're to lead you this way and that way. But when we move as one, it is not based on only one person, one mind in the front. All is a collective of the group, you know what I'm saying, in itself. Such as you have in the military, you would have a general, a sergeant, a lieutenant, a lieutenant, you know what I'm saying, your corporal, so on and so on and so on. But those leaderships are not based only on the fact of what you're hearing their rank is. Not in the collective that should be today. The collective of today is all thinking minds that have the power to think, the power to bring wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the United States must now step forward. You know what I'm saying? And start to, as we see in many ways, you know, on YouTube, the many different things that have been brought out. So we're still looking to see where this followerization nonsense should be. And we should not let nobody like Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, you know what I'm saying, and these crazy people lead our people anywhere. Haven't they done that too many times already? We have to we have to get that out of the way. We have to get that out of the way. So we're looking at today's world as something that needs to be examined very carefully. You know what I'm saying? And many of the whistleblowers and these people who keep check on these people's neck needs to continue the good work that you do. Investigation is everything in that destination. You know what I'm saying? Even when we look at North Korea, state media on Tuesday, criticized the United States for, its election and cast doubt over the hopes of dialogue in the future, regardless of the outcome of the U.S. presidential race in November. You see? So you see how many countries are involved in a connection to our country, and have many countries, such as you have the criminal organization Creed Joe Biden have put together, probably, called NATO, talking about an alliance. But your alliance of tyrants. You see what I mean? You know what I mean? And Joyce Reed should be ashamed of her fucking self. Go suck some blood instead of fuck away from our people. If you're going to come amongst our people and you're telling us, a guilt trip about we're not going to vote for this person and that person, because, we don't want to be on the wrong side voting for this person because I guess he's a white man, I guess, and over here we should be voting for the first black female. You don't want to be on the wrong side because when it happens, you're going to see, because it has been one of the greatest and the latest operation of the demon Democrats to convince your stupid ass simple mind that Kamala Harris will be breaking the historical grounds. And you see the way they put words together in convincing you that this is the truth, but it's not. But when they say it to you, they're making you hear it in a way that it sounds to you in your mind. It's a truthful form of she might be right. You know what I'm saying? So and they go, come on, no, this has nothing to do with that. This has to do with understanding what we need to do to get our country on the right path based on conflicted total garbage and bullshit that has been going back. We could go all the way back to Africa. We could go all the way back to the Siberian Mountains. We could go all the way back to wherever. But that is not here now. So we've got to be thinking about now. And Kamala Harris don't have that. She's going to try to use every power in her investment to do so. You know what I'm saying? But we see here, getting back to this, and she damn sure to me, I wouldn't, come on. We really have to think about our foreign affairs and many things that have been concocted and chocolate by these people that are swinging and jigging and joking, you know what I'm saying? Because all in the end turns out to be a tyrant ass small set of motherfuckers doing bullshit. But we see the political climate between the demon Democrats, you know what I'm saying, and the Republicans is confused by the infighting and will not change, said a column carried by the KCNA without the name of the author. You know what I'm saying? And he said the dialogue, you know what I'm saying, with sinister attempts in such dialogue as an extension of confrontation or needless to be held from the outset. The column from the reclusive, I guess they call it reclusive, communist rule country said. You know what I mean? But right now, North Korea have to chill out because North Korea, you seem to always have some kind of conflicted garbage with the United States. You know what I'm saying? To be such a country that has gained its greatness or whatever have done, because you have your criminal shit you did as well and still probably will do. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't slide too far from the word tyrant in itself. Kim Jong Un. Over there going back and forth and forth and back and forth. Should you kill many of those people of that land at that, and going back to those wars and shit that y'all had going on. You did many bullshit as well. But you sit up here in our face and you act as if like you the cleanest nation and got so much to say about the United States, Kim Jong-un. But you don't. Because all the garbage and bullshit that you are doing has always been known. You don't just have to hit the news media to know it in many ways. You know what I'm saying? You just have to look at what you did to the United States soldiers and many veterans that fought those wars. Or they just went over there and shot themselves in the leg and bumped their head and shit. You better go back to the days when it was live and direct on TV. And many things that y'all were doing and many involvement of the United States in, not the United States people, the common people. Because they have their political views and so on and so on. They don't, you know what I mean? We're talking about the people who chalked up it in the first place. Because it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? So we don't need to be hearing no bullshit by you guys. You know what I'm saying? We see a news story coming in here about it's coming off the Palisade Park, New Jersey. It's in Palisade Park. It's coming off the Daily Voice. It's coming from Cecilia. I mean, I think it looked like Cecilia or something like that. Levine, and I'm seeing 20 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. Remember, it's always late and all here and all there. Coming off the Daily Voice. Disturbing new details have come out to the light in the arrest of a 42-year-old David Chon. A Palisade Park police officer, Chun 42 of South Hackensack, was arrested Monday, July 22nd, you know what I'm saying, on a slew of charges stemming from multiple assaults on a woman in, I guess it's called Baku or something like that, Heights, I guess. I'm not saying that. Has Brook or something like that. Heights between 2019 and 2023. Bergen County prosecutor Mark Mosella or whatever said, you know what I'm saying, the criminal complaint obtained by the Daily Voice said that Chun choked a woman on November 25th, 2021, tried to punch, he tried punching the woman in December. He tried to punch, I guess, a woman in December 2022, and then again while she was holding a child, tried to push in, picking up a what? A couch while the victim, picking up a couch or whatever while a victim was laying on it. Or he picked up a couch while she was laying on it. You know what I'm saying? And ripping out the kitchen faucet and throwing the hose at the victim while she was holding an infant. Well, Mr. Tom, I don't know what land you're living in, but we don't appreciate that in the United States of America. You got to be careful with these people. And he's sitting up there with a uniform, you know what I'm saying, of a police officer and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? I think he should be removed and fired. no personal, whatever his charges, that's what it is. And he needs to be, like you said, arrested, period. You know what I mean? He needs to be arrested, period. Because if you're going to be, that's what seems to be a problem with you, a homeless child or something, or you blame women for your experience in this here life, I don't know. But to be just going around doing crazy shit like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just not cool, wearing the uniform. You have problems, he needs to be removed and he needs to go solve them. But our police force doesn't need people like that to give it a bad name. So we need to move on from that and let his crazy behind off the police force. Because it doesn't seem like he was stable. It seemed like he got hired over his culture or race. You know what I'm saying? Many police officers and many still have this in their cities where you don't see certain races of people in the police department. This is another practice that Donald Trump needs to work on in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? But we see where we have a situation where someone was saying that is curious about the uh, Confederate States. You're in the right place. You know what I'm saying? The Confederate States of America. You know what I'm saying? The CSA exists from 1861 to 1865. Formed by 11 southern states that succeeded from the Union, that succeeded from the Union. So that means that they came out of the Union and separated the 11 states and called it the Southern States. You know what I'm saying? Which they came, they succeeded from the Union. So you get the picture. You know what I'm saying? The short 11 nations had its own government, its government, military, and even currency. We know that for sure. But what led to its creation and what were its key moments? From the Civil War battle, you know what I'm saying? From the Civil War battle,